Stinks not having Katie. Right? Just it stinks not having Kristen for a few games. I mean, injuries are a bad part of sports. Nobody likes it, but they are a reality. And I think that your team is going to react the way you react. And so to those seniors' credit, when they've missed games, they haven't pouted or felt sorry for themselves, because that's going to be contagious. And the same thing it's the same approach the coaching staff takes is, what, hey, this is the strategy, and whoever is playing this position, whether it's Katie or Alexa Coulombe or Victoria Lesko or Karima Gabriel, what, here's what we need you to do. And it was nice tonight to be able to start Katie Zenovich, and I need to give a thank you to Brenda Fries for being willing to, when she won the tip, call timeout so I could get Katie out of the game safely, and let the crowd, give her a last farewell, which I thought was nice. But yeah, Katie's a mainstay for us. She's one of the best screeners in the nation. She's a great, she leads us in field goal percentage. She's so good at picking and popping and scoring in those ways, and she's our leading rebounder. So it's hard without her, but I thought our kids stepped up around her, and there was a lot of people that were ready to step in.
So you guys got off to a little bit of a hard start there. What happened at the end of the first half?
Maryland wears you down. They're so explosive in transition. Alyssa Thomas she's the LeBron James of the women's game, in that we don't have a player in our game that's that big and strong and dominant physically, but also has the skill set that she has. When she gets a defensive rebound, their transition game is one of the best that I've seen. And any time that we were a little bit lazy or just didn't quite get back, we went for an offensive rebound, or we were a little bit out of position, bam, they were able to turn it into baskets. And so unfortunately, that, it's almost like a ticking time bomb. It's sort of like waiting, and they do that. I've watched them enough on film. That's how they go. And so they finally got us. That lead got to double digits pretty quick. I think we were tied, and then it was 10 like that on several fast break baskets. And that's what Maryland does. So the credit goes to them.
Not really prepared to any questions.
It's okay. I see. That's all right. Yeah, no. I saw the big dogs just walked in, so it's all right. Good. Is that right? Neat. Yeah. No. And I was just saying, Brenda was a class act today in allowing us to get Katie Zenovich out of the game. And she and I talked before the game, and we agreed that whoever got the tip was going to call timeout. And she was kind enough to burn one of her timeouts so that we could start Katie, let her have starting lineups. And it's stuff. Sometimes it seems a little hokey, but I tell you what, these kids have really bled, sweat, blood, and tears, for this program. And to be able to walk out there, on senior night and be announced and let the crowd give them a fond farewell. It really meant a lot to all of us. I think Katie, she doesn't need it to be about herself, but I know a tear came to my eye, and I know it meant a lot to the fans as well. So thanks to Brenda for doing that.
Is she okay though?
Yeah, we were actually really, really worried. She just tweaked it in practice, and often that's one of those things that it's the ones that don't seem like a big deal that end up being being awful. The MRI was negative, so there's no tear. She has what's called a plica, which is tissue underneath her patella, which got just jammed, sort of in the wrong spot, and so it's really just a matter of working her back to mobility. She's in a lot of pain. She's way better than she was 2 days ago, and so we've got our fingers crossed that she continues to improve and can get back for maybe Sunday and hopefully the conference tournament. So, we hopefully got lucky on that one.
It seemed like the emotion of senior night kind of helped in the early minutes too.
Yeah. I think it helped all game, and to be honest with you guys, we've really, really worked since the Clemson game. I thought it became very, very obvious that perhaps as a coaching staff, I moved us too quickly along without really building some of the foundations of just the grit of rebounding and the toughness of defending and some of those things. And so we really had to kind of kick it back to basics a little bit in these last couple of weeks just to get us back on that toughness. And we may not be the biggest and the strongest, but we better be able to compete. And so, it was nice to see that, yes, between hopefully those practices and that message getting through and the leadership some of our kids have shown, along with the emotion of wanting to really get out there and fight for Kristen and Katie, I agree. I saw some good energy from us today. I thought the bench was, did a better job. And those are habits we're trying to build. And with a young team and really they're new with us, that those things become pretty important.
Speaking of a young team, they got pressed, and that seemed to be when Maryland kind of took control right there.
Yeah, and it's happened. You saw it in the Syracuse game. our lack of a point guard. We sort of have point guard by committee. Although I really thought that we missed wide open people. I mean, we had Nicole Boudreau wide open up the court, and just honestly, the timing of our press offense wasn't great, and that's got to fall on me. I got to do a better job of having us, ready to go for that. Again, Kristen and Lauren did a nice job back there. And once we just sort of got over the initial shock of, oh boy, we're getting pressed, we beat it, and we got up the floor, and we got some easy shots, and they took it off. So we're going to get pressed. It's the ACC. That's the way life is. Yeah, your question is great. How tough a matchup is Alyssa Thomas in transition? She's an absolute nightmare. You can figure out how to defend her in the half court, although she's very, very difficult because she's so good inside. She drives the ball well. She's good in the perimeter, so she does all those things well. But in transition, there's really almost no way to defend her because if you commit multiple defenders to her, she's one of the best passers in the country, and she finds the open player. If you don't commit people to her, she's a truck, and she's just going one-on-one, and she's so big and strong, and she's so good in the open court that it's really sort of a catch-22 for us, right? So when we can get him in the half court, then we were able to bring some help. And she still scored in the half court. I mean, she's a stud. She's a great rebounder. I think the most impressive thing about her game is when she gets a defensive rebound, they have transition automatically, and she is just gone. She gets the ball out of the paint and to half court faster than any player I've seen. She's not necessarily the quickest player in the country, but her ability to turn a defensive rebound into transition, it's really devastating for our transition defense. Great. Good. No, we appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for all the coverage this year, and we'll see you around soon.
Thank you.
Great.
Player of the year, or maybe McBride?
It's good. It's a great question. I mean, she's a two-time defender.